Hi, my name is Gracie. My class, I'm studying in 4th standard. My age is 9. My mommy is housewife. My dad is auto driver. My family numbers is 24.
I am Neelanjana. I work with Bhumi. I'm a Bhumi Fellow. As a part of the fellowship, I work at a low-income private school in Tamil Nadu, Chennai, and I teach 4th grade children. I teach them English and math as a part of my fellowship. So understand how much of a factor or a constraint economic resources are, how it plays a part, and whether that's the only thing that's required for a quality education. I think those are some questions that were there in the back of my mind, and that's what pushed me to join the fellowship. My vision for children is for them to develop into confident, kind, and resilient learners. And for the community, I think my vision for the community is for them to feel a sense of belonging at the school or with the child's learning, and for that to be a 50-50 partnership between the school and the parents as well when it comes to the child's learning and development. How can they work together? How can they co-create solutions or even strategies that are suited to the child? So according to her, a super teacher is someone who doesn't shout at the child for not knowing something, or even if they make a mistake. A super teacher is someone who goes to the child, explains it to them alone or individually, and then helps them understand so that they don't feel bad that they didn't understand. As a teacher, I think for me to be able to create that space or that sense of balance, in the sense that am I actually giving my children the space? What am I doing as a teacher to create or to build that student agency and that student voice? So I think for me to find that balance as a teacher is something I'm still figuring out. As a fellow, I think the challenges that I've seen in the past year is I think at some level convincing parents to send their children to school or even I've a lot of parents have told me that they've not completed their schooling, so they find it difficult to help out children with their learning. I've gone on some community visits, and like I said, convincing, sometimes understanding a bit more about what their biases are or what challenges the community itself, the parents are facing, what inhibits them or what's enabling them. I think those are some things that I've been able to observe as a part of those community visits. And so as a fellow, also I think one challenge that I faced was addressing my own mindset or my own biases when I was walking into the fellowship. So I think that's something that I had to be very conscious about, because these sometimes biases are so unconscious and so hidden that you don't even realize it. So I think walking in, there were some biases for me about motivation, teacher motivation, school motivation. So I think realizing how that's playing out as a fellow, and I think actively addressing that has been a bit challenging, but also I've learned so much more, or rather I'd like to say unlearned in that process. As a teacher, I think feedback from children in person is something that I'm constantly receiving, and I think that's helping me understand better and overcome that better. So sometimes when I ask them, I say, what can Miss do differently? And so they help me. It's a team effort. It's not stakeholders, managing different stakeholders' interests, their priorities, and what they want to achieve, and tying it all together. I think for me, initially I was struggling a little with understanding what it takes to work with multiple stakeholders at once, or how you work with multiple stakeholders at once. But I think I've realized that uniting, or I think rather figuring out where all of it aligns, like where their goals or where their visions align, and that is children. Everybody is working towards what's best for the children, bringing out, like doing the most they can to ensure that our children get the best education possible.